Anyway, there you go.
All right, boys and girls. This week's movie is The Blues Brothers, a 1980 John Landis directed film that grossed 115 million worldwide. It cost 25 to 30. There's estimates of both. A lot of cars got crashed. Interestingly, it grossed more overseas than it did in the U.S., which I thought was funny. It started as a running gag or skit on Saturday Night Live. And Belushi and Dan Aykroyd started it and then brought in more and more people with the help of Paul Schaefer. They put together a band of incredible repute. Oh, where's Mahoney, by the way? Is he out?
I don't know.
Okay. So some other facts. Belushi was paid $500,000, 500,000. Aykroyd, 250,000. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Really? Huh.
But to me, one of the most interesting things was the cameos and co-stars. That list is so incredibly long. I mean, people that you didn't expect. I'm sure you all saw Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens at the Shea Hall, Steven Spielberg.
Right.
Do you know his character was the guy eating the sandwich at the end of the movie when they paid the $5,000 for the taxes?
Oh my gosh.
So that was Spielberg, Twiggy, Stephen Bishop, Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh is the first dancer in prison to get up on the table and start dancing.
Yeah.
So he was pretty spry in 1980.
Yeah. Weren't we all?
Yeah, I suppose that's true. The big co-stars, Cab Calloway, James Brown, Aretha Franklin, Carrie Fisher, Ray Charles, John Candy, Chaka Khan. And then it's really interesting. You do yourself a favor if you would go look at Steve Cropper and Donald Duck Dunn and their Booker T and the MGs Stax record years. And even since then, Steve Cropper he has a hell of a Wikipedia page about all of his accomplishments in music. Just outstanding. And as I think I told Bill this a week or so ago, Steve Cropper is Steve Cropper is from West Plains, Missouri. That's where he was born before he moved to Memphis at age 9. And West Plains, as Whitaker would know, is about an hour and a half from here. And then some of the Henry Gibson, John Lee Hooker, a lot of old blues folks that I'm sure Mike Sanders just could name. Pine Top, somebody.
Pine Top Perkins, yeah.
Yeah. Bones Malone and Murph, and all these guys are just great backup musicians for the most part that were in the band. So I thought it was a lot of fun. There were 13 different bluesmobiles used in the movie. I'm sure you can understand that. When they were on Lower Wacker Drive, Landis filmed that, and then he realized that people would think, instead of them actually driving 100 miles an hour, which they were, he thought people would just think they speeded up the film. So he had to put a couple of the pedestrians in there. So and those bicycles that went across the road to let you know that it was actually them going 100 miles an hour. They purchased 60 old police cars for $400 a piece at auction. So they could wreck them. It holds the record for the number of wrecked vehicles in a movie at 112. It beat by one the remake of the Blues Brothers in 2000. So that was the second one. Paul Schaefer, as I mentioned, put a lot of the band and the pieces together, and then he wasn't in it or couldn't be in it because he was doing a record with Gilda Radner, producing an album for her. I didn't look up anything about Gilda Radner's album, but it's not one that most of us had in our collection.
No.
So as far as character arc, the Joliet Jake goes from inmate to savior of the what do you call it? The Penguin's place.
Orphans.
Yeah.
Yeah, the orphanage.
The
Yeah.
orphanage,
yeah.
yeah.
Senior moment. But I just thought it was a lot of fun. You have to wonder what Carrie Fisher's role is in this. A little bit of comic relief, but not real comical until Belushi's eyebrows come into play at the end of the movie. And she also got engaged to Aykroyd during the filming of this.
Oh, really?
So lots and lots of interesting things. Of course, Belushi's drug use and partying during this meant that the budget kept going up. Universal was actually in a bidding war to produce this movie, and they just barely won that. I guess Landis put it out for different people to bid on, and Universal won. But they actually thought it was only going to cost about $12 million, and it ballooned to twice that and more. So, but it made, like I said, 115 million, and obviously at most of your guys, $3 or $4 a pop. It just keeps going and going and going because people will either own it like Sanders or like us will rent it. And it was a couple years ago put in the National Film Preservation thing at the Smithsonian. I just thought it was a good comedic break in what's, sometimes we can get a little, even me doing documentaries, nothing this light in a long time. So I hope you all enjoyed seeing it again. Most of you have. Jeff Arthur, have you seen it before?
I had seen it before, yeah, a long time ago, but I actually just watched it. I just finished it about half an hour ago, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I wonder if any of these people, other than Aykroyd, I wonder if any of them are still alive. Can't think of any.
Well, not very many.
Well, not too many.
Well, the backup band is, for the most part.
Yeah, I think Matt Guitar Murphy is still around, isn't he?
Yeah,
No,
so
And
Cropper
he
and Duck
passed.
Gunn.
He
and
passed.
Buddy Guy.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, you're right.
Buddy Guy's still around.
Yeah, I think so. Buddy Guy, Matt.
Duck Dunn died
Oh, he
Yeah.
2012.
did? Okay.
Aretha Franklin, of course. Charles has
course, yeah.
passed.
Yeah.
James
Cab-
Brown, Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Cab Calloway, Carrie Fisher.
Have, yeah.
Yeah. Spielberg's still around. Joe Walsh still around. Stephen Bishop's
Yeah.
still around. Twiggy, I guess, is still
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
But I guess when Aykroyd wrote this, and he and Landis got co-writing credit for it, but Aykroyd wrote it and it ended up 324 pages, which is about 3 times what a normal screenplay runs. So Landis sat back down in 3 weeks, cut it down to the film you saw, which made me wonder on that director's cut if they had actually filmed some of Aykroyd's extra pages, Mike, but I guess it's mostly commentary.
I don't know. I mean, no, it's a longer version, and it has with and without commentary. But for example, Aykroyd was very big on scientific things, and so when he would describe the car, he would talk about it in the car and say, "This is a 440 cop car with cop brakes and cop whatever."
Right.
And the car was supposed to be magical in his version of it. And so they parked it in a transformer room of the L that it could barely get the car into. And the idea was, he was going to explain this, but the idea was that, the car would sit there while it hummed around him, and that's how it got its power. But, but Landis, if you watch the making of stuff, Landis is in a lot of them. He said, I just told him, hey, we don't have time for that. That's what movies are for. You just show them,
Yeah.
And so that was one of the scenes where they're being chased and they jump over the bridge, the drawbridge, and all this kind of stuff. And then they get away and they pull they're on Wacker Drive, and they pull into this thing and they park it. And he has to crawl out the window to get out of it. It's so tight where he's going from. And then he locks the door behind it, and he's got the key in his pocket. He's always carrying like a janitor's key. And so there's no explanation of that in the movie whatsoever. You only know that if you've heard Landis talk about it, or Aykroyd. He'll tell stories about what got in, what didn't. But it's fun to watch. There's no doubt about it.
I just love the music.
Well, it's a great musical. I mean, that's when I first saw it. I just thought, this is a great musical. The dancers the choreography was phenomenal.
Chaka Khan in church, and
oh my God, yes.
Aretha Franklin doing Think. I mean, it's wonderful.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so, I don't think it really got enough credit for that when it first came out. People didn't call it a musical comedy, or one of America's greatest musicals ever, but it was. They used regular people sometimes when they were doing the dancing. The outdoors in front of the Ray's, musical store, those were all just extras. They just had something like on a local radio station said, show up, we need people to dance in front of a music store.
Oh, and I assume all the people like in John Lee Hooker's segment on Maxwell Street were all
right
there.
That was probably a real Maxwell Street event, because that used to be
how. I mean, I just love that song.
Yeah.
Another thing about the music store, it was 20 degrees outside, but in the movie, it was supposed to be summertime. So these people came with short sleeves, shorts, and all kinds of stuff like that on. And so,
but us Chicagoans are tough. 20 degrees, nothing.
Big deal.
Nothing.
But then at the church, when they had the dancers there, they decided to go with professional dancers. That's very well choreographed, and you can tell those are professional dancers.
Yeah. And, what I laughed was the penguin, the Catholic guilt thing, and the nun, the ruler, you have to make the mission from God. I mean, all of that. I was being brought up Catholic, I was just laughing so hard as every time they'd say something, she'd snap them into the ruler again.
I mean, that was almost like a paean to Bob Walsh. I could just hear him talking about the ruler on there.
I know, it's just unbelievable. And you're right, the music was phenomenal. The checkerboard, was that in, I think that was in there, wasn't it? The checkerboard where they were, was it, Mike?
I don't remember seeing that. But
maybe they referenced it. Maybe they referenced it for some reason. Place. Or I just went there because there was a poster at the checkerboard. So now you've got Buddy Guy, Matt Guitar Murphy, Junior Wells, you've got all those. Then they had the Rolling Stones and Muddy Waters, and it was $2 cover charge. 1970, I want to say 4, maybe, something like that. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
When you're talking of cameos, when they went around the mall, there were a lot of things in the windows.
Yes.
Robin Williams shows up in the window several times in the mall.
Wow. I didn't notice that. Oh.
And then, it's just the idea that they found an abandoned mall, rebuilt it, and then destroyed it again.
I know. It was just amazing.
They said that was like a week and a half of shooting. It was like 10 days of shooting. So
Yeah. I remember that. Well, of course, the music, all the music. But then when they started doing the Peter Gunn, oh gosh, I was just like, okay, so they got the mystery, they got the blues music, they've got, and then Mission from God. So funny.
Like the what is it? Roy's Country Bunker.
Yeah, yes.
yeah, Bob. I think it was Bob's Country
Bob's.
Bunker.
It's
Bob's yeah. And
it's in Kokomo, is where that was, which is halfway between Chicago and Indianapolis.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So the only thing, when I was thinking if it could be made today, which of course it couldn't with all the people, but the women were, I mean, the relationships between the men and the women are, now those were pretty dated, I thought, anyway, I thought that. And then of course the use of the N word, even though it was Cab Calloway, I was like, oh, but I did look at the women's roles in there as being, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Subservient?
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
Well,
even
I don't
though
know. When Aretha's telling
oh yeah,
Matthew
well,
Murphy to think,
wait,
she's
that's
totally in
a
charge.
whole different. That is a whole different boy. That's a whole different thing. I guess I'm talking more like Twiggy and Carrie. That
Carrie
these
Fisher was after him the whole time.
I know, to kill him, and then of course at the end, that. So I don't know. I just remember thinking that the women's roles were a little different. But I was wondering, Jeff, did you think Jeff with the G? Did you think that did it feel real dated to you or what?
Well, I guess. I mean, sure. I mean, all the cars were old, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, I like the blues anyway, but
Yeah.
the music was just phenomenal. I just haven't seen it in a long time, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Oh, I did too. I have to say, everything about first it's Chicago, and then it's the Catholic, and then the blues, and when he gets when he gets hit in the revival, and Belushi gets the glow around him where the mission, figures it's a mission from God. It reminded me of that the scene in Elvis, when Elvis has that kind of that idea and gets caught up in the music. And I went to when I was in Missouri, I went to a Pentecostal revival. My brother and I went, and I was the only white people there. And I swear to you, I have never been so emotionally moved by something like that. So when he did that, when Elvis did that, I didn't think it was that big of a stretch, because I'm telling you, when everybody starts crying and screaming and fainting and clapping and all the stuff that they do, it is so powerful. It literally will move you off your feet. I mean, that's how strong it is once you're in there. And you guys, I'm sure, have gone to those, but I was just blown away, and that was in Missouri. Oh my God, I had never felt anything quite so strong, I guess. Strong. Yeah.
Well, Bill, what'd you think?
I liked it. I mean, I did think the music was, champion the storyline for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, again, kind of maybe some of them at the end of their peak, some of them just still peaking as older, adults and things like that. So I enjoyed the heck out of that part. I thought one of the things you haven't mentioned that was iconic to me was the dancing of Belushi And
yeah.
and Aykroyd, the way that, especially Aykroyd. I mean,
That's what I was going to say, especially Dan.
I was like sitting there going, "What do I remember about this movie?" And then I started thinking about Dan Aykroyd dancing, like that, and I'm going, "Oh man, I remember that part." Yeah, but no, it was good. Let's see, I did write down a couple things. The deal that did anybody watch that YouTube video that I sent around?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting what Aykroyd was saying about the blues were not exactly popular at that time, but there was a window in there. Well, I forget what he said. It was a window in between when nobody was really listening to anything, and so
between disco and hip hop or punk,
and so they just fit this in there. It didn't feel like that to me at the time. I think, don't we kind of think of blues as just kind of going over a long period of time? I didn't think of it as being out of place or anything like that. But anyway, I thought that was interesting what you said about that. And then I guess that's all I had written down. But no, I enjoyed seeing it again. It was great. Made me miss Belushi. And what Aykroyd was saying about him, in there, like, I think what was Dan Rather? Dan Rather was interviewing him. That was interesting too. But he was saying, what do you think Belushi would have been doing now? And, his answers were kind of interesting, I thought.
Yeah. Doing stage plays.
Yeah. Doing stage and directing. Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Jerry, what'd you
Belushi,
think?
before you take up, when Belushi does the handsprings down the aisle, he actually did that. That was not a stunt man. He was a gymnast in high school and college. And so a lot of his physical comedy that you would see on Saturday night or on this, he did it.
Wow.
But anyway, I just wanted to
it looked like Aykroyd did his, and he had some crazy steps.
Yeah.
Terry, what'd you think?
Well, I liked it when it came out, but I have to cast a dissenting vote. First of all, I have a congenital dislike of musicals.
Okay.
The only musical I've ever liked is Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've never been a fan of the blues, ever. I'm never like, no, that doesn't interest me at all. I found it hard to watch, and I didn't make it through it.
Okay.
I lost interest. So I'm the dissenter again.
Hey, well, I don't think anyone got killed in this movie. There was some gunfire and a lot of explosions, but no one got shot and killed.
It just got boring after a while.
Yeah.
All the destruction in the cars, and I just was like, come on,
It's fairly sophomoric. I mean, I get that, but
yeah.
What do you think was there a point to all the kind of subgroups that had the rednecks from the country bar, and they had the Nazis, and then they had all the cops, and they were all after them? Do you think that was all just for comedy, or I mean, why would they have all these groups?
Go ahead. In Chicago, it's Skokie. I'm sure Skokie. We had this at that time. There was a big rally for the Nazis, and Skokie is basically a Jewish area. I mean, it's probably 90% Jewish, and the Nazis. So that was a big thing about that time back then, because they decided, they allowed the Nazis to rally, but nobody came. I mean, it was like nothing. I mean, they were there and they were doing all their stuff, but nobody reacted to it. None of the Jewish people, nothing. They just, they let it happen, and that was it. And which was kind of nice for Chicago,
Right.
Yeah. So, so that, I mean, that was big. I mean, that was a big thing back then.
Jeff, all I can think is that it was four counterculture enemy groups that were all chasing them. So you've got the police, the Nazis, the country western, both country and western.
Yeah.
And we have two branches of cops.
Oh, they had
Well, there
state
was
cops and
state
well, then
and the city.
Yeah.
Army got in there.
Country and western and state
Yeah.
and federal. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeff, what'd you think? Dr. C?
Oh my, I love this movie. I'm sorry, Terry, but I just flippin' love this movie. I love the little, and right, you said they're sophomoric, but I think they are very hilarious as sight gags and so forth. Like when they pull up to take the money into the collector's office and the car destroys, it just falls apart completely. Or, you know, when Jake grabs Carrie Fisher and gives her a big kiss and then just drops her on the ground and runs off. And they're just crazy things that they do all the way through there. The way that the nun could open the door like The Exorcist or something, and then she floated instead of walking.
She backs up.
Yeah.
Floats.
I mean, just all kinds of little nuances like that. It's just constant through that movie.
Yeah.
And I just enjoyed kind of thinking about the sense that they used when they were writing that and putting that together. And the way that they kind of assembled all their friends, I think, so many people were in that movie. The consolidation of music all around the theme of the blues, they brought in, I mean, people who want to understand some history of the blues, if they wanted to go to one source to see a bunch of people who were sort of pioneers of the blues, could go to that and watch it, and they would at least get a little flavor of each of those people. I mean, it was an amazing feat to put all that stuff together. And I just love looking at this movie. It's one of my favorite things.
I mean, reading as I did about especially Cropper and Dunn and Jackson and the keyboardist,
Murphy.
No, keyboardist.
No,
not that keyboardist. Green Onions.
Oh, Booker T. Yeah.
Booker T. Booker T. Wells, I think maybe. But just again, like I said before, if you look at especially Cropper's Wikipedia page, but all the people they were the house band at Stax Records in Memphis, and they just backed everybody. I mean, it was incredible, the people that they played with for, and even produced. A lot of times Cropper would end up producing some of the records.
The horn section came out of Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Yeah.
And then they became part of the Saturday Night Live band.
Blue Root Lou and Bones Malone. Ruben, the horn player, the Shea Paul, maitre d'.
Oh, Shea Paul. Oh my gosh.
Well,
That's a great
that was
scene
funny
too.
because Paul Rubens was there,
Yeah.
It's Shea Paul. So
Right.
And Shea Paul was a phenomenal restaurant. I mean, it really is it was the fine dining restaurant in Chicago. I mean, it was great. So
I liked how they pulled up the Bluesmobile and spun it around, to
Yeah.
Those are some of the side gags, Jeff. I laughed at every one of them again.
Yeah. It also is just fun.
In Shea Paul, I mean, all the tables were like jammed together.
I don't remember it being real crowded like that. I mean, no, I don't remember it being real crowded. They maybe did that specifically for the movie, added a few more tables.
They needed to.
Well, when they come into a room and everything they need to take the pictures, they had to shove everything else somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
all the stuff that it takes to light it and do everything else takes up half the room right there.
Yeah.
And
They had
then
to get it close enough so Belushi could slide back and ask if he could buy the women.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much for your women?
And your daughters.
all your
Yeah.
women.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh God.
There are so many little things in there to remember. It's been quite a while since I've seen it, but
There's a band in Kansas City. I don't know if they're still around, but they're called Four Fried Chickens and a Coke. Got the name of it. You know.
That's
Some
funny.
kind of is that a reference to something? I mean, it seems like that comes up.
Well, that's
Jake's
Belushi
favorite meal.
when he's ordering at the Soul Cafe, and
Yeah.
Aretha
at
Franklin's taking
Aretha
it down.
Franklin's.
She said, "Do you want drumsticks or wings?" And he goes, "No, a chicken. I want four fried chickens."
Fried chickens.
That band's name came from this movie.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh,
four
I'm
fried chickens
sure,
and a
yeah.
Coke. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she tells it to Guitar Murphy, and
Yeah.
he goes, Jake.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the dry toast and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elwood.
He was checking out that toaster at that pawn shop or whatever it was there. Right?
Or Ray's music exchange. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Musical
a
instruments
toaster?
and small appliances. It was a toaster oven, yeah.
Yeah, I
Had
figured
his own bread.
I was going to say, because when he got back to his apartment, he's cooking it over the flame. So
A little coat hanger thing and a hot
Yeah.
plate. Yeah.
Yeah.
camping out in his room.
So how
Where'd you
often
get
do
your-
these trains go by? Oh, a lot, but you'll get used to it.
So often you won't notice.
Dr. C, where'd you get your T-shirt?
I don't even remember, but I said I gotta have this. I'm on a mission from God.
Is that what it says?
Yeah. We're on a mission from God.
God. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, they really played up the Chicago accent.
Right. They do.
Well, very good.
Yeah, that was good.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, I guess you've got Pete's, or he's going to let us know by email.
I mean, I was waiting for something on that, and I just got something from him. It says he's at his party, and he says, and then I saw Mahoney's text, which I didn't get any text from Mahoney. Did you guys?
Nope.
No.
So, but he says, are you ready for me to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, unless anybody's got another
Or
comment about the movie.
Mahoney said he was going to pick or something. You know, that's what I was thinking. But that doesn't make sense, does it?
Now it's Pete's turn.
Okay, so my pick for next week is The Big Year. Steve Martin, Owen Wilson, Jack Black, Brian Dennehy.
The big what?
The Big Year.
I never heard of it.
Never. I don't think I have either.
Have you heard of it?
Good. No.
What year is it from?
I don't know, but we probably ought to check it just to make sure something didn't spell check or something.
It's actually.
You don't.
It's really The Big Deer, but we.
Yeah. The Big Chill. No.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Or the big ear?
Yeah.
Big deal.
I've never heard of that.
No, me
And that's
neither.
quite a cast.
Where's it? Are you looking it up, Bill? Where is it?
I
Where
am.
can we find it? Oh,
Mike is, I guess.
Yep. 2011 comedy.
Huh.
Well, I'll be darned.
Bird enthusiasts.
What's
With
so
a Rotten Tomatoes score of 42.
uh-oh.
Yeah.
Bird enthusiasts try to defeat the cocky cutthroat world record holder in a year-long bird spotting competition.
Oh, well, we had train spotting. Now we have bird spotting.
Okay.
well, Pete likes it.
So the big year,
Big year.
2011. Okay. So
Yeah,
you
I
don't
won't.
get it confused with the other big year.
We haven't watched Steve Martin too much. Doesn't
No.
No, no.
I rewatched him on Saturday Night Live this week. It was hard to do.
really.
Really?
He and who's his Only Murders?
In the building, yeah.
Oh, Martin.
Martin Short. Yeah, I can only take him for a little while.
Wow.
I'm waiting for the next season for Only Murders in the Building.
The third season is out now.
Yeah. I thought
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wait,
Yeah.
Boy, I would be watching it.
it just started not too long ago, actually.
Is
And-
anybody watching or watched The Lincoln Lawyer?
Yes,
the
I
new
liked it.
Yeah,
The new
I like it
series?
really well
Yeah.
so
Season.
far. I'm only in season 1, but
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
it is good. Yeah. I will throw out that if you guys, I think, should go and take your wives to go see Barbie. I'm serious. I know you, but a friend of mine's husband went just kind of as a laugh, and he liked it. And I know that you guys would like it because the opening scene is like the opening scene from 2001, when they're, when it's prehistoric man, and it says like, I mean, you'll get there's a lot of, it's funny. And I wasn't a Barbie person, so I'm not saying this as prejudice, but I think I know your wives, especially if they were into Barbie, they're going to like it. But it's way better than I thought it would be. Way better. And I think you'd have fun, so.
It
I
went
saw
over
this-
$1 billion.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just recently.
everybody's watching it, that's for sure. It's like you
I'm
said.
telling you, I did not expect, I thought, oh, please. Again, I was not a Barbie person. I'm probably the only woman I know that wasn't, but I just wasn't. And
me neither.
but it's hokey, it's funny. Of course, the women, especially if they were Barbie people, they're going to like it. But even if you weren't, I think you'll really like it. So
I saw where Kate
just wear
McKinnon.
pink, huh? Pardon me?
I saw where Kate McKinnon plays Weird Barbie,
Yes,
and that
yes.
Mattel has come out with a Weird Barbie
Weird
doll
Barbie.
based on Kate McKinnon. So if it's got Kate
Well-
McKinnon being Weird Barbie, I might go watch.
Yeah,
I think she's hilarious.
she is, and of course she still is in this. But you'll see. I think I might be wrong, but I think you guys, especially because there's a lot of things in there that we've talked about before. We in other movies, and there's a lot of references there. So I think your wives would like it. So be nice. You guys do something nice for your wives.
Oh,
Well, Bill saw it.
pink.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw a lot of guys in the theater. It's
Oh, really?
oh yeah, I mean,
You
weren't
liar.
nah, I get it.
So-
I mean, I don't want to talk about giving it away or anything, but it reminded me of another kind of folk tale, from our past when we were little. But it's
Like
really,
a Princess Bride?
yeah, like a Princess Bride, but not.
Yeah, but not.
But it does really kind of go into Barbie and all that, I think it does a good job of waiting.
But Bill, what you're not saying is, did you like it or did you hate it? Or
Oh no, I liked it a lot. And I was sitting there going, I thought this dance scene that the Kens do at the end of the movie, I thought it's classic, it kind of reminded me of the movie last year that won best choreography. It was that the Indian movie that was real long. Does anybody remember the name of it?
Oh, RRR. Yeah.
car. Remember how they get into that dance scene and they end up winning an Academy Award for that. And Barbie kind of does that too in a way where like get towards the end of it and they have a Ken face off that turns into a dance off, and it's real entertaining. There are lots of parts about it that are
there's lots.
She gets off. This starts at the beginning. She gets out of her car, and her feet are up off the ground, like that.
Oh yeah.
Because she's always got.
She's always in heels. Yeah. And
Don't-
that's how she knows she's gotten into the real world, because her feet flatten out. So,
But I mean, I think there's that kind of like, I think you could kind of broadly say, like, is Barbie relevant? Maybe her time's come, maybe it's gone. The movie kind of addresses that.
oh, it's still
Mattel
here.
produced that, didn't they?
Yes. And there are 6 women on the board. So I had to check that out just to
Who
see.
produced it?
Mattel.
Mattel.
Mattel? Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good first effort.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
She
yeah.
plays a good Barbie.
$1
she
billion.
was great.
Have you seen it, Jeff Copeland?
No, I haven't. I've been reading about it. It's the first single woman produced movie or directed that crossed $1 billion mark.
Wow.
And they're
So
not done
cute.
yet. It'll play
No,
in
Yeah.
the fall, I'm sure.
yeah.
Well, it was
about
so-
half of it's foreign income, I think, but it's playing hugely around the world.
Yeah. It was way better than I thought it would be. I kind of went begrudgingly, and not begrudgingly, but it's like, yeah, okay, I'll go.
So
But it was way better.
the lady that directed it, Greta,
Yeah.
Gerwig,
what
Gerwig.
other stuff has she done?
Hurt Locker.
Babylon.
She didn't do Hurt Locker.
She didn't? Sorry.
No, but Babylon, and she's Australian.
Wow.
She directed Babylon.
No, she
Oh.
was starred in Babylon.
Oh, with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
I'm looking her up.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know. I know she was big in Australia, and she has a strong Australian accent, although you don't hear it in the movie.
She
Very American.
she did Little Women.
Yeah, that's right.
She won Oscars for Lady Bird, which was a pretty good movie.
Hmm.
Mistress America.
Oh yeah, that's
all
right.
And It Takes Us the Stair. The Lady Bird was her breakthrough movie, I think.
Hmm.
But she's only done about 10 of them, and I hadn't heard of most of them. Oh, but like you say, she's been on. Oh yeah, she's acted quite a bit.
Oh yeah. She's what I read is that she's one of the few actresses that can cry on point, and the director can tell her which eye she should let one tear come down, your right or your left. I mean, that talk about control. So she can cry on demand, and you can tell her what eye she needs to cry from, right or left, or both.
Yes, but can you ever believe her about anything?
Exactly.
Well,
I'm thinking again about the Blues Brothers, and I just had this thought and I wanted to put it out there. I saw a parallel between the Blues Brothers and the way they talked to each other in the car, and the Men in Black and the way they talked to each other in the car, where they were just
Oh.
like totally,
Well, they were dressed
blasé.
alike, that's for sure.
Well, yeah. So, they were both going through these horrendous things and like chatting about, oh, look, there's the Picasso, So I thought there was kind of an interesting
Yeah.
similarity there between
This
them.
mall has everything.
Yeah.
New Oldsmobiles are in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that.
Earlier
that's
than
right.
usual.
That was That was a really reminder. Remember when car dealers used to
Yes.
have little showrooms in the mall?
Yeah.
I remember my father taking me to see Elvis's Cadillac at a car dealership. And it was just the car. And, Saturday Night Live did a thing called Elvis's Coat, which was, a joke, a skit they did, but it was much like that. It was a 54, I think, Cadillac. It was white with gold, 24 karat gold metal on it for the bumpers and all that sort of thing. And it had the tufted seats and velvet.
Yeah.
And a rope around it and security guards and all this kind of stuff. We went to Bill Allen Chevy in North Kansas City just to go see Elvis's car. He goes, "Don't you want to see Elvis's car?" Let's go, I was like 10 years old or something. Wow, this was amazing.
Well, I do remember watching, it was September, wasn't it, when the new cars would come out?
Yeah.
You'd see them on TV, the brand new ones. Oh my
During
God.
Bonanza.
And you were, yeah, and you'd be able to tell what year the car was by, the design, the tail lights. They would always change things. Now you can't tell one year from another in most cars, at least I can't. But then you could always tell a 54 from a 55 from a 56. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
So John Landis, he's not done too much good stuff lately, but he was certainly pretty hot back then.
Yeah. Between
Yeah.
Animal House and this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he had the tragedy at on Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
a bad one.
yes.
But
Yes.
Vic Morrow.
Vic
he
Morrow.
came back from that. Yeah, Vic Morrow and 2 children.
Yeah.
2 children died.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think so. One of them had Morrow, and one of the children had their heads decapitated from the helicopter blades.
Oh my God.
And people testified at the trial that Landis told them lower, lower, lower. Even while they were shooting it, he didn't seem to care too much, but he was acquitted. The jury came back and acquitted him.
Huh.
And then there were going to be civil lawsuits, and the movie company went ahead and settled those with them before they even got filed. Morrow's family, and then his daughter's an actress. I forgot who she is, but she got quite a settlement. That was a sad.
Yeah, that was
Landis's career. And I don't know if you guys saw, but William Friedkin, who did the chase scene in the French Connection, he just passed yesterday or today.
Oh.
He also did The Exorcist.
Yeah, that's what I remember him from.
He had some great movies.
Yeah.
You guys.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to ask if any of you remember if we have done 7 Days in May.
I think so. I think that was a Mahoney pick one time. I could be wrong.
I mean, it sounds right, but
What was the email from Mahoney? Anything about 7 Days in May? Probably not.
I mean,
No.
I didn't get it, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get anything from Mahoney. That must have just been Pete.
Yeah.
But I think we have. I could be wrong, but it seems.
I mean, I know we've done the Manchurian Candidate and some others of that era, but this is where the army is trying to take over because they think the president's going to sign a non-proliferation deal with the Russians.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, who's in that?
Burt Lancaster and somebody else big.
Kurt?
Yeah, Kirk Douglas. Yeah.
Well, it may not be that may have been a Bob pick.
Could be.
I think
Could be. I didn't go back and look. And
I mean, I searched my thing that has it, and it didn't show up there.
okay.
Oh, okay.
But it
Well,
is
it was just
there.
actually an idea Luann, my wife, threw out.
The reason I was thinking of it is I have a file where I keep all of my backgrounds, and one of them said 7 Days of May on it. So I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe I was thinking about doing that as a pick, and I went ahead and did the backgrounds. I don't know. I've got a screensaver that I love. That when I'm watching movies, I save a lot of things. just
Rod
for that.
Serling co-wrote it.
Wow.
oh, I
Hmm,
love
there you
Rod
go.
Serling. Huh.
I think it got
Hey, I've got one recommendation, and I think we've mentioned this before, but Little Richard has a documentary out called "I Am
Yes.
Everything," and it's been
Yes.
for rent since we mentioned it a month or so ago. But right now on Prime, it's 99 cents.
Oh,
So if
really?
you want to catch it, I watched the one on Hulu that was about Little Richard. That was pretty good. But
Mhm.
you know, this is the official Little Richard "I Am Everything," where he was part of it and participated in. And
Oh, good.
It's on Prime for 99 cents. So
Is it not the same one as what was on PBS?
I don't think it is. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I don't
Yeah,
think it
that
is.
doesn't sound like it's the same because I don't remember it being titled.
They did a masterpiece thing or something, but
Yeah.
that was their version of Little Richard's life.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's a little bit different, I think. And then maybe that's what I saw on Hulu.
Maybe.
It wasn't the same one, but
I'll
all
throw
I had. And then, hey, is Terry still there? Terry,
No, I don't think so.
There's around somewhere. His nebula is.
Yeah.
he got consumed.
yeah, there you go. The penguin got him
Yeah, yeah.
for his blasphemy.
Whack. Yeah.
I'll
Well, I'd
throw
recommend that you give a peek to that Lincoln Lawyer. It's kind of snappy and
Good.
who's in it?
no, nobody.
Nobody.
Not that, and nobody I know, but it's good.
It's a Mexican actor, but
Yeah.
I mean, is this like? I mean, the basis is the all right guy.
Yes. Yes.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he's slick and cool like that. But I like it better.
Yeah. It's character is developed way more big, but it's a number of series, episodes, but it's really
Yeah.
good.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
there's
that'll-
10 per year, and there's 2 years out, and
Yeah.
third one's maybe subject to the writer's strike.
Yeah.
Like a lot of other shows, you begin to have a relationship with all the characters.
Yeah,
Right.
So it begins to be kind of a family thing where they interact with each other a certain way, and you can count on this person to do that and that person to do this. And
Yeah.
at least I've watched the first season, and I felt like it was going that direction.
mm-hmm.
I got one to throw out, and that is the 2002 Solaris.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was good.
George Clooney,
Was that the same director as
Steven Soderbergh. I just saw.
okay. I was thinking about the movie that I recommended recently. It's completely escaping my mind. The never mind.
Completely.
There's a connection there somewhere.
Terry, did you want to bring up your idea of an additional person?
Well, I guess since you mentioned it, I was just thinking about proposing a friend of another North Kansas City 1971 graduate, Chris Pearson, a woman for everyone else's information, since Chris is a both sex name. So I think she might enjoy. I haven't mentioned it to her. I haven't even said anything yet. I just wondered, because we seem to have people gone on regular basis. We don't even have our Hollywood squares done.
Yeah, I'm going to be out about 6 weeks in September and October.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, I haven't even asked her. I mean, the first person I wanted to, that I asked didn't want to do it. Larry Stock in Springfield, Missouri, but he didn't. He had meetings or something on Mondays. Which
Jeff,
I think
how about your guy?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
I haven't talked to him. I can reach out to him again and see if he wants to jump in. Yeah, I figured out where the connection was. There's two different Solaris movies, and the one I was thinking about was Andrei Tarkovsky was the director who was involved in that other movie I had talked about. Let me see if
Whatever
I
that
can
other
find
one
it.
was.
Yeah, I can't. I'll figure it out.
I can see the 70-year-old mind churning through that.
Another
Yeah,
episode of
it's-
Alzheimer's
it's-
Theater.
It's grinding, and I recommended it, so there you
That's a
go.
good alternate name.
That's right.
You know,
Oh,
that
you got any health
that
issues?
guy that
Okay.
wore the skinny ties, oh man. I hope you guys enjoyed the email I put out about Curtis Salgado. He did play a role in Belushi and Aykroyd putting together this thing that kind of
Yeah.
looks like him when he was younger. That he wore black suits and white shirts and skinny ties.
The
Yeah.
name of Cab Calloway's character Curtis is based on that.
There you
That's
go.
Hmm.
That's right. And they dedicated the briefcase full of blues to Curtis Salgado because of that. The story that I was telling on it, for those of you who didn't hear it, Salgado ran into Floyd Dixon, who wrote the song "Hey Bartender," which was on that
Mhm.
album, at a bar in LA, and he used to back Floyd when Salgado would go up and down the West Coast. He's from Eugene, and he played a lot of places on the West Coast, and he backed Floyd. And he said Floyd thanked him for helping get it on there, and then he said, "And I got a check for $57,000."
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Curtis said, "So what did you do with it?" And he said, "I spent it all on the horses."
Yeah.
A true bluesman, it
True
said.
blues.
Right.
Yeah. True bluesman. Yeah.
I just
Yeah, I
thought
saw
that was a
that.
great story.
Yeah.
I don't
I've
mind.
seen
I'd
him.
love Chris to step in sometime.
Sure.
Carrie?
All right, I'll ask her, see what she does. I'll forward the code, the number.
She can be scared or not. She can go back and see us on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I hadn't even mentioned that to her. I hadn't even told her that was an option. I'd forgotten about. Well, I actually thought about it, but I never got around to
Tell,
asking.
tell
need
her to
to
look
work-
for the
we need
ones
to
that
work
have
on
more
it.
than 3 reviews.
Not
We need to work on our female demographic.
Yeah.
Donna's holding it all on by herself there.
I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Yeah. I could be using
But if
help.
we're really gonna get big, we gotta.
Yeah, that's
get
right.
More women. in there.
Got a little be more diverse. Yeah.
Well, at least we have the youth represented with Jeff.
Yeah, we do.
There you go.
Okay, guys. Well, and girls, looks like
All
we made it.
right.
Another
All right.
another session
All right. I
Wonderful.
won't be here
Yeah,
for 2
great
more
one, Mike.
weeks.
for 2 weeks.
4 weeks, huh? 2 weeks? 4
2
weeks.
weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then we're
Two-
off
two.
September 4th, Labor Day.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Put that in.
Okay.
Vacation. Okay. All right.
It's also my
Okay.
birthday, so be thinking about me.
All right.
Right.
Okay. See you
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
See you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.